Star Wars is one of the biggest and most loved movie series of all time. It has amazing battles, cool spaceships, and some of the most famous characters ever. But behind all the fun and adventure, there are some dark and disturbing secrets most people don't know about. Strange things that happen while making the movies, creepy details hidden in the stories, and facts so shocking they can change the way you see Star Wars forever. Some are weird, some are scary, and some are just really hard to believe. Once you learn them, Star Wars might never feel the same again. Let's start with something that happens super early in Revenge of the Sith, since that movie's being re-released in the USA this spring. Do you remember the scene where Anakin Skywalker cuts off Count Dooku's head? Yeah, that scene was already pretty brutal, but if you look closely, it gets even worse. Right after Anakin does the deed, you can actually see Dooku's head rolling on the floor. And not just that, his hands, the ones Anakin chopped off earlier, are also lying next to his body. It's so easy to miss, but once you know it's there, you can't unsee it. George Lucas really went dark with that one. For a movie rated PG-13, it sure feels like something straight out of a horror film. Speaking of body parts, did you ever wonder what happens to R2-D2 when he sits in that yellow N1 starfighter in The Phantom Menace? We see little R2 popping his head up behind Anakin as they fly, and it looks kind of cute, right? But there's a secret behind that scene, and trust me, it's not cute at all. According to the Incredible Cross-Sections book, R2's head actually telescopes up from his body just to fit into that small space. That means his head literally pops up while his body stays stuck down in the ship. Kinda sounds like someone getting the Dooku treatment, doesn't it? Poor R2. Now, every time I watch that scene, I just feel bad for the little guy. Now let's talk about that grumpy bartender in A New Hope. Remember the scene in the Mos Eisley Cantina where the bartender tells R2 and C-3PO, "We don't serve their kind here." For the longest time, I thought that guy was just a mean old droid hater. But there's actually a sad reason behind his actions. His name was Woo-Her, and when he was a kid, his parents were killed by battle droids during the Clone Wars. Can you imagine that? Losing your parents like that would scar anyone. Ever since that horrible day, Woo-Her hated droids. It wasn't just about being mean, it was about the pain and memories they brought back. Funny thing is, he did have a soft spot for Jedi. He didn't even snitch on Obi-Wan when that whole fight broke out in his bar. I guess that just shows you everyone's got a story. Speaking of tragic stories, let's talk about Anakin Skywalker for a second. We all know he started life as a slave on Tatooine, a little boy working for Watto, dreaming of the stars, and sure, Qui-Gon Jinn came along and helped him win his freedom through a pod race. It felt like a happy ending, right? But was it really? The truth is, Anakin was never truly free. After leaving Tatooine, he became a Jedi, but that meant following a strict code, being told what to do and how to feel. No love, no attachments, just rules. And when he finally broke free from that, he ended up under Palpatine's control as Darth Vader. All his life, Anakin was always someone's servant. The only moment he truly tasted freedom was when he defeated the Emperor and died in his son's arms. That's the saddest part. His whole life was just chained one way or another. Now here's a fact that still breaks my heart. Remember the Tauntaun Luke was riding at the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back? The one that gets attacked by the Wampa? Well, her name was Rebo, and she wasn't just any Tauntaun, she was pregnant. Yeah, kinda sad and gross at the same time. Rebo had a baby inside her when she was killed, and to make it even worse, the Tauntaun that Han Solo rode later, the one that also died in the cold, that was Rebo's mom. So basically, we lost 3 generations of Tauntauns right there in the snowy opening of the movie. Next time you see that scene, it's gonna hit a little harder. If you thought that was dark, wait until you hear about these creepy little things from the Planet of Twilight book in the expanded universe. They're called droids, and they are just nasty. These tiny parasites burrow into your skin without you even knowing. Then they slowly start draining your life energy. They're sneaky too. They blend in so well that scanners can't even find them. At first you feel fine, but suddenly your skin starts decaying, and within half an hour you could be dead. The worst part? They grow bigger and smarter the more they feed. And yes, they can reproduce while inside you. Honestly, it's one of the most terrifying things in Star Wars, and it makes me shiver just thinking about it. And while we're talking about nightmare fuel, let me tell you about something called the Decraniated. These poor souls showed up in Solo, a Star Wars story, and their backstory is truly disturbing. So, Dr. Cornelius Evazan Yeah, the same creepy guy who gets into a fight with Luke in the cantina, he was behind this. He took people, stripped away their identities, and replaced parts of their heads with metal. After that, they were sold as slaves, forced to work for others. Some of these victims were even wounded soldiers from Jeddah, just grabbed off the streets and turned into half-droid servants. Imagine losing your face and your freedom all in one go. Honestly, the galaxy felt way darker after learning about this. But the tragedy doesn't stop there. Have you ever thought about what happened to the clones after the Clone Wars? Those brave soldiers who fought side by side with the Jedi? Well, their lives weren't just short, they were stolen from them. Clones were made to age twice as fast as normal people. That way they could grow up quickly and go straight into battle. But that also meant their lives were over before they even began. Even the ones who survived the war were cast aside, aging into old men by the time they were just 30. Captain Rex, one of the most beloved clones, was only about 31 during Rebels, but he already looked like someone's grandpa. Can you imagine living your whole life just to be a soldier, only to grow old and be forgotten by the very republic you fought for? It's cruel when you really think about it. And now we come to something so weird and sad, it's almost hard to believe. There's a story from the old Ewoks comics about a place called Mount Sorrow, and yep, it's exactly what it sounds like. A huge, talking mountain that's always sad. Not just sad, fully depressed. One day Wicket and his friend Kaka climbed the mountain because they heard the mountain's tears could cure their friend Teebo, who was stuck with a laughing curse. But when they got there, things got scary. The mountain actually tried to kill the Ewoks by blowing them off with a giant gust of wind. Imagine that. A mountain so sad and hopeless, it wanted to kill little teddy bear kids. Luckily, Teebo saved the day, and the mountain eventually cried the magical tears they needed. But still, knowing there's a suicidal mountain in Star Wars is unsettling to say the least. All right, we've made it this far, but I saved the worst for last, and honestly, I'm sorry in advance for this one. It's about Emperor Palpatine, you know, the wrinkly, evil Sith Lord, who's pretty much the scariest dude in the galaxy. Well, according to Ian McDiarmid, the actor who played him, Palpatine did indeed have sex. Yeah, I know, none of us wanted to imagine that, but here we are. During an interview, Ian was asked if Palpatine ever did the deed, and he basically said yes. And that's how we get the whole storyline about Rey being connected to him. It's not fully confirmed in the movies, but it came straight from the actor himself, so it's about as close to canon as you can get. The thought of that wrinkly old man having a romantic moment is just nope. I'm sorry, I really am. I wish I could unknow this too. Star Wars has always been full of mystery, adventure, and surprises, but some secrets are darker than others. These disturbing facts may have changed the way you see the galaxy, but there are still so many more hidden details out there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more shocking and interesting facts. And if you know any other creepy Star Wars secrets, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.